DAX Optimizer can keep track of the issues that you fixed or you decide to ignore. This helps you to always focus on the next more important thing. Let's see how it works, looking at what happens when we decide to manage an issue. For example, the sales amount measure has a number of issues reported. And let's start from the first one. Let's say that we decided to fix this code in our model. At this point, we can mark this issue as fixed. This way, the filter that we have in the list of the issues can ignore what we already fixed. We can change this toggle and show only the issues that are not fixed yet. And so you see that the impact of the issue is rescaled so that the more important issue is visible with the larger number of digits. So it's clear that it is way more important than the others. However, sometimes we might decide to not act for a particular issue, for a particular measure, and so we could decide to ignore it. This is probably not the example for this measure, but if we choose to ignore, what happens? At this point, the issue disappears from the list, but when we toggle back this setting, we can see that one issue has been ignored and another issue has been fixed. What is the difference when we will process an analysis of a new version of the model? Well, the next time we analyze the model, what will happen is that the issue that has been fixed will be validated again. The assumption is that we changed the measure, so there should be no issue at all, because the changes that we applied should have removed the condition for this issue. But if this is not true, I will see the issue again, maybe a different issue if my code didn't solve this issue but introduced a new one. The issue will disappear if I wrote the code that no longer presents a performance issue. What happens when we decide to ignore an issue? When we decide to ignore an issue, setting this flag, we mark the measure so that in the future the same issue will not be shown again, it will be ignored again, unless the measure is changed. If I apply a change to the measure, and not just a comment, a significant change in the DAX code of the measure, then the issue will be evaluated again. Because I can continue to ignore an issue as long as the measure is the same, but if the measure changes, the issue has to be reconsidered. And at that point, I will decide whether to ignore or to fix the issue another time. We can also keep track of the history of the fixed issues over different versions of a model. For example, this model has been analyzed 3 times, 3 different versions. If we start from the last version, we see that all the issues have been fixed here. But if we go to the initial one, the first version, we see that we had a number of 14 issues in this model. Now, in this first version of the model, several issues have been fixed, but other issues had not been fixed yet at that point. What happened? We fixed a few issues and we uploaded a new version of the model version number 2. So in version number 2, the issues presented do not include the issues that have been fixed if the measure actually has a fix to the issue, but at that point, new issues have been fixed, and you see this here. So the list is shorter and other issues have been fixed. Now, the issues that were already visible in version 1, we can see them going back in version 1, and we can see that these issues have been fixed in version 2 if the measure was the same. So a measure that was already in version 1 was not fixed in version 1, it has been fixed in version 2, we can take a look at this condition, going in the initial version and see that, okay, we didn't fix this issue immediately, we fixed this in a following version. This can be helpful to understand what happened over time during the process of optimizing your model.